Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas football back here at the Lone Star Coaches Clinic, here with the new head coach of the Marshall Mavericks, Coach Jake Griedl. Coach, thanks for taking a few minutes to chat with us on an early Saturday morning.
Yeah, no, we're excited to be here. Lone Star is always one of the best clinics in terms of getting real ball talk, and so Hardy McCrary and Zerlines, they do a really good job putting this on, so we're glad to be here.
Yeah, I was going to say, this clinic, last year is my first time at this clinic, and the numbers and the amount of coaches from all parts of the state here is really impressive. And everybody I talk to says, you know, you don't just get clinic talk here, you get real X's and O's. For a layman, what does that really mean as far as what you know, what's clinic talk, and why do you like why the X's and O's are so important?
Yeah, well, you know, when it comes to the game, football, no one's really reinventing the wheel, and so sometimes at clinics you'll get more philosophy, you'll get more this is how we run our program, this is how we do things. You know, we like to do this kind of stuff, this, that, and the other. Here, they make sure to bring speakers in that are really, you know, let's talk inside zone, let's talk dart, let's talk, you know, full field progressions, and then, you know, talk about real-time wrinkles that you know, we can use at our level to, you know, get production on the field. And so, you know, then with the breakout sessions, and I mean, it's just a good deal.
You drawing any plays up on napkins yet?
There's been some napkin drawing. There's been some pens that have been thrown away because the inks ran out. So, but yeah, you expect that at these type of things.
Now being a head coach, now you're an offensive guy by trade. Being a head coach, are you more tempted to go listen to the defensive guys talk and start hearing some tricks of the trade and how they're trying to defend the offense, or do you want to hear maybe some new wrinkles on the offensive side, or do you try to kind of bounce around to both?
Yeah, I try to bounce around a little bit now, being in this new role. But you know, we got our defense coordinator Jerry Poth here, and our special teams coordinator, who's our D-line coach, Anthony Randall, here, and so they're kind of handling the defensive side of things. We got some offense guys in the offensive rooms, and so you know, there's a bunch of different ways to do it as a head coach. I'm sure I'll kind of find my niche, but as of now, I want those defense coaches to coach so we can be locked in on our side of the ball.
All right, now you've been in the job for 3 weeks now. Has your head stopped spinning yet, or because you were an internal hire? It's got to be, if you're going to get your first head coaching job, it's good to get promoted from within, I guess, because you kind of already know the lay of the land. Right. You don't have to learn all the kids' names again, right?
Yeah, no, it's been a hectic 3 weeks, but you know, there's some comfort and there's some consistency there, and then there's some waters that I've never treaded before, and so that's where I mean, we've got a great staff, and we got assistant athletic director, you know, because part of this new role is being the AD, and Jody Satterway, and she's been outstanding with just kind of coming alongside of me, making sure that I'm, you know, dot my I's, cross my T's in terms of the football side of it. You know, we've got the train on the right track. You know, Coach Mathis laid a great foundation there, and he kind of made Marshall prevalent again. You know, Marshall's always been a place with rich tradition, but there's kind of been a slump there, you know, probably really since, you know, Rodney Southern left, of just maybe some inconsistencies, and so hopefully getting that foundation of that consistent powerhouse deep run Marshall is back, and so we got that train on the tracks, and we're just going to keep building, keep pushing forward, and right now, I mean, you know, our staff is rocking and rolling, and so you know, it's been a hectic 3 weeks, but it's been a good 3 weeks, and I think probably the biggest change has just been for the kids of, you know, they've known me as an offense coordinator. My role changes as a head coach, and so, you know, I'm not changing who I am, but my role changes a little bit, and so there's an adjustment for them in terms of you know, how to respond in certain things, and so, but we're chugging along. We're excited.
Off season, I guess, is going to be kind of a status quo. I mean, I'm sure you're going to put your own wrinkle on things because, you know, every coach kind of has his own recipe on how to do things. But I think for the most part, someone from the outside looking in is probably not going to see a whole lot of changes with the Mavericks, and I'm assuming that's a good thing because you guys had such a good year last year.
Yeah, no, we want to make sure that we're building on the success that we've had last year and the last 2 years, really. And so, you know, I mean, there'll be some wrinkles here and there just because I'm not Coach Mathis. But like I said, you know, that foundation is there, and you know, as we kind of do things and ease into some new things, you know, we'll keep everybody posted on you know, within the program of what they need to know. But we're excited. You know, we think we got the guys coming back to make another deep run. You know, I was going up the elevator last night with those Huntsville guys, and I didn't know if I could be in the same elevator with those guys. But
that was a tough loss. I know it was a close one.
Yeah, no, but they're a great group of guys, and they got a great coaching staff over there. And so we kind of joked about it in the elevator a little bit. But you know, we're excited to kind of get past that third round hump, and that's kind of our goal is can we get to 4, can we get to 5, and so that's what we're going to be looking to do this year.
All right, let's get a rough estimate. If Marshall was at AT&T Stadium playing for the state title, how many Mavericks would show up to watch that game? 20,000?
Oh, well, there's 25 in the town.
Would anybody be left in town?
There would be no one left in town, and there'd be a lot of green down the road that would wear red for the day.
There you go.
And there's probably a little maroon just north of us that would wear red for the day, and so a little maroon east of us that would wear red for the day. And that's that's one of the things just from going around in this coaching world in the spots I've been that's really unique about East Texas is East Texas is East Texas. And on if we're playing at Carthage, if we're playing a Longview, if we're playing at Jefferson, yeah, we want our guys to win that week, but otherwise, we're wearing the green just like Longview's, or Longview's wearing the red just like Marshall is, and so if Marshall's playing at AT&T, we'll pack the house.
All right. Now, I ask you, speaking of East Texas, last year during the playoffs, one of the coolest things I saw was y'all's helmet with the 903 on the helmet. That was pretty awesome. Whose idea was that? Was that a kid idea, or was that from the staff? That was pretty awesome.
I tried to do some of the things that we kind of did at LT and just signing some new traditions, and so I went to Coach Mathis with that, and I said, hey, look what Memphis did this one year for a bowl game, and they put 901, and I said, what if we did 903, and that was kind of a new playoff tradition where during the season we have the Mav head, but when it's playoffs we put 903 on the side of the helmet, and that's kind of our new tradition. I know Southlake does their bleach hair, but create some tradition, and So we went with it, and our kids loved it, and
the kids were fired up in the locker room when they saw
it. They were fired up. I mean, East Texans are proud to be East Texans, and so as we start traveling around the state on playoff runs, to be able to represent that 903 is a big deal for them, and so I mean, it was cool.
All right, final question for you. We talked about potentially playing, don't want to, but playing at AT&T Stadium, how cool that would be for the Marshall Mavericks. This year at AT&T Stadium, we had UIL introduced instant replay for the state title games. From your perspective, I'm sure you may have been. Were you at the games, or did you watch? So you were at the games. How did you think instant replay went? Did you like it, and what was your thoughts overall?
Yeah. I think if we can make it right, let's make it right. And so, I think where the UIL is going to have to figure out, how they do things is this a once the playoffs start, there's a turnkey cost to get this type of crew out at each playoff game, if both teams are willing to do it. I mean, there's a lot of questions that I know the UIL is looking into, but I think the overall consensus is, make the game right as much as possible and make it fair. And if we can make the right call, then make the right call. I mean, I know there's been controversial calls that we were in and other teams. And so if we could have made those right, that would have been outstanding. Yeah.
Well, Coach, appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of the clinic, and congrats on the new gig.
Appreciate it.
All right, great job.